March 1941. Two prisoners sneak across the courtyard of Colditz Castle and pick the lock of the canteen door. Success. Inside, they run to the window and begin cutting the bars.
Hände hoch! Hände hoch!
Busted! Now, the German guards were pretty pleased with themselves. Oh ja, Hans, guten Job. Oh, danke, Wilhelm, you too, ja. But they shouldn't be, because right below their boots, a much bigger plan was in motion. The canteen tunnel. Colditz Castle. But just how cold is it? Very. This medieval fortress had been a prison for centuries, but in World War II, it became the most notorious POW camp of them all. It held captured soldiers from all over. You had your Brits, Canadians, Aussies, Poles, Dutch, Belgians, the French. Separated by country, the lads were united by one thing. Getting sent here meant you were just a little too anti-German. You get caught escaping your last camp? Colditz. You like causing trouble?
Oi, Fritz, your fly's undone.
Colditz. Say something that makes the Reich look bad. Yeah, I heard he's only got one ball and does meth. Oh. Colditz. And once here, getting out would not be easy. You were deep in Germany and neutral ground was hundreds of miles away. Guards were stationed around the castle at every key point, and on these three sides, a sheer drop. On top of that, look at the way it's shaped. This inner courtyard was for prisoners, and the outer one for guards. Meaning, at least in theory, if you wanted out, you'd have to go straight through the German courtyard. It was escape-proof. Or at least it was meant to be. Time for SadCatman's Declassified Colditz Survival Guide. Exploiting weaknesses. Look at these photos. What do you see? A large, imposing medieval fortress? A centuries-old prison looming menacingly above the tree line, perhaps? Surely, it's impregnable, right? Wrong. The very same medieval architecture that made it so intimidating also made it a security nightmare. Nightmare. Poor lines of sight, hidden rooms, cellars, attics, more places to hide guys or gear than you could ever imagine. Plus, to make their job even harder, the Germans literally filled Colditz with troublemaking escapees. And what do troublemaking escapees do? They make trouble and escape. In the first 2 years alone, there were more than 100 attempts. Truth is, as long as you were clever enough, the impregnable fortress could be about as pregnable as a hot Mormon MILF. 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 Oh yeah, Wilhelm. Takes him away to solitary, yeah. It's a bad day to be those two, am I right, fellas? Their escape was over before it even got started, and now they're heading to solitary. But, at least for the rest of Colditz Castle, life went on. And so did the operation. And what does every operation need? A team-up montage. Captain Pat Reid, Mastermind, Tunneler.
Wow, I really can't wait to get out of this castle.
Captain Rupert Barry, Logistics. Am I excited to escape? Huh. Yeah. Barry. Captain Dick Howe, Tunneler.
How?
I'll show you how.
And Lieutenant Joffrey Wardle, look out.
Yeah, I'm busting out of here. What are you gonna do about it, huh?
With the crew assembled, every night after roll call and lights out, the boys prepped their escape. Step 1. Pillow dummies. The guards like to do random late-night checks to keep the prisoners on their toes. But most nights, they'd just poke their heads in and make sure no beds were empty. This routine and its lack of close attention is what the lads were counting on. Oh yeah, das ist look good to me, yeah. One real search, however, and the whole thing could come crashing down. Step 2. Unlock the barracks. After final roll call, the castle was locked down for the night. Early on, those locks were a real headache, but by now, most of the crew had been inside for months. That's a lot of practice. Step 3. Reach the canteen. The courtyard was lit up and guards were always lurking nearby. For the average POW, getting across would be impossible. But our heroes weren't just prisoners of war. They were professors of wheelie good sneaking. For them, reaching the door was easy.
Go, go, go.
And why bother picking a lock when you've already cloned its key? Inside, the real work began. Wardle stood watch as the other three worked the tunnel.
Coast is clear, lads. Start digging.
Night after night, they followed this same routine, all the while slowly building up a secret stash. Food, maps, compasses, forged paperwork, civilian clothing, whatever they'd need for their big day. But you may have noticed an issue here. They were trapped in a fortress hundreds of miles from neutral ground, and some of this stuff could only come from the outside world. So, how'd they get it, right? A letter. See, at Colditz, all prisoners were allowed to send and receive mail. But of course, the guards read everything. And this is where the real spy movie stuff begins. Not long after arriving at Colditz, Rupert sent a seemingly ordinary letter to his wife back home. Seemingly ordinary. Hidden in plain sight was a secret message. Oh, it's me, Rupert's wife, and I'm going to read his letter now. Am so glad to hear you're going to buy a puppy. The first dog in each 3 litters you will find the best. First dog in each 3 litters? First letter in each 3 words. With this key, we can crack the rest of his code. Get from War Office. American passport. Visa ex-Sweden in Germany. For Switzerland, France, Spain, Portugal. Hotel labels Stockholm. Ah. A request for forged IDs to help the men cross Germany. Clever. Rupert's wife cracked his code and passed his message on to MI9. And in the snap of a finger, a huge wave of spy gear was smuggled in. Clothing dye for disguises hidden in chocolate tins, money for bribes or train tickets tucked away in cigarette packs, this cool pen compass thing. It was some proper James Bond stuff. Thanks to MI9, the secret stash had grown fat. Now, all that was left was to follow the plan. Pillow dummies, cross the courtyard, finish the tunnel. Easy enough. Right. Oh, geez, Pat. The tunnel has made good progress and we're feeling good.
Yes, Rupert, that is what's happened. The Germans have no clue what we've been up to, and in just a few short weeks, we'll be free men.
I am also here. And yes, I agree, Pat. That is, as long as we don't run into some sort of big problem. Ha ha ha.
Could you imagine?
Quick, boys, they're heading for the canteen.
Bollocks.
They had just run into a big problem. On an ordinary night at Colditz, the off-duty guards were having a little party. Nothing unusual, except tonight the drinking had gone a bit too far, and all the noise was keeping the prisoners awake.
Oh yeah, Wilhelm, bust it down sexual style, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm popping my titty and shaking my cheeks. Will you keep it down? We're trying to sleep.
9.
After a few words, things escalate, and all of a sudden the guards are doing a full search of the British barracks. Remember those pillow dummies? Well, they were good enough for a passing flashlight, but not a close-up. The guards quickly realized 4 men were missing. Ah, Captain Nap Reid, is it? Where are your friends, Stay quiet and withholding type, I see. Take him to solitary and find the others. Now! The search was on. Around 2 a.m., Wardle yells,
Quick, boys, they're heading for the canteen.
and he has barely enough time to jump down into the tunnel before the guards burst in. It won't budge. Little do they know, on the other side, Pat has his fingers wedged into a protruding lip and he's hanging on for dear life. If he lets go, it's all over.
Hang on, man. They can't find out we're down here.
Luckily, Pat Reid was born with the fingertips of a god. The guards left, assuming the manhole was still sealed.
Jeez, Pat. With fingers like that, your wife must be happy.
Ew, gross, Dick. Also, not funny. We're trapped down here, man. This is serious business.
I guess you're right. And I mean, even if we do get out without being spotted, as soon as the gods find our work down here, the whole operation will be blown.
That's what we're gonna do. I wish I would even know.
Pat, what the hell are we gonna do?
He thought for a moment. Even if the Germans moved on for tonight, they'd only come back again.
Ah, I know. Rupert. Dick.
Not sure how it helps, but I guess if you really want to.
No. I meant him.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
You see that rubble? I want you to use it to make a false wall to hide our work. And then when the wall's done, we'll sneak out of here and slip right back into bed. If you do a good enough job, the Jerrys just might think it's the real deal.
Yeah, okay.
Fast forward a few hours, and the wall is done. It's 5 a.m. and all's gone quiet in the courtyard. The boys sneak out and head for bed. But as they fall asleep, questions linger.
How will the Jerrys react to our sudden reappearance?
Oh god, I wonder if our fake wall's gonna hold up.
There's not a lot of colored folks in these parts. Is Hitler a racist?
In the morning, they'd have their answers. The wall? Well, it passed the test. But the guards' reaction? Could have been better. 2 weeks in solitary for their disappearance. And while they were locked up, they got some more bad news. Remember at the very beginning when those 2 Polish prisoners were caught? Well, it happened again. Another failed escape at the window, this time by the French. Oh no! This was a big problem for everyone. See, Colditz was a constantly evolving game of cat and mouse between guard and prisoner. So, even though they had no clue about the tunnel itself, the canteen was clearly a security risk and it had to be patched. Clearly the canteen is a security risk and it must be patched, yeah. Also, if the prisoners like the canteen so much, why don't they marry it, Boom! I put a new highly sophisticated lock on the door and a guard in front of the window now. Suck it, losers! This was their biggest setback yet. Once out of solitary, the plan had to change.
Alright, boys. It's become clear that this is no longer business as usual. The plan has to change.
Yeah, no kidding. The guard and that lock are going to be a big problem. What have you got for us?
Well, on the table in front of you, there are 5 items we shall use to escape. That's one more than 4.
Right, okay. So, first up is Reich marks.
Precisely. And that's our bribe money, courtesy of MI9. I've heard a guard on that new post is, sympathetic.
Right. All you gotta do is look the other way for 10 minutes. You get 100 marks up front, and the rest when it's all done. What do you say?
Alright, but if the god accepts, then what's number 2?
Ah, the pièce de résistance. That's my stepdad's iPhone 7 loaded with Balacho Mobile. I shall use it to keep myself entertained whilst I hide in the canteen. Once the door's sealed, I'll dismount the lock from the inside and head to roll call. Alright, number 3. Civilian disguises. We're gonna wear these under our uniforms for roll call, after which we sneak into the now unlocked canteen. Number 4 is the most straightforward, digging tools. In the tunnel, we dig the last few inches and, when ready, signal the guard to keep away. And that brings us to our last item. Anyone?
Ooh, I know. That is sheet rope, which we shall use to descend the sheer drop from the terrace, allowing us to reach the park and climb the last wall to freedom.
Absolutely superb, Dick. Also, you are correct. We'll scale down the outer wall and head for the park. Cut the barbed wire fence and then we're out. Bingo, bango, bongo, bish, bash, bosh to Switzerland, my good men. We are off.
May 29th, the big day. After months of hard work and numerous setbacks, it's go time. The guard. Ja, das ist gut und I agree, ja. Bribed. The lock.
Dude, no face cards. Are you kidding me? Oh, bollocks, the door.
Dismounted. Roll call. Passed. Now inside, the men remove their uniforms and drop into the tunnel. Pat gives the command, and the guard is signaled to look away.
Once out, I looked around. I was like an actor upon a stage. The floodlight made a grotesque image of my figure against the wall. Row upon row of unfriendly windows. Those of the German Kommandantur frowned down upon me. The windows had no curtains, and a wandering eye from within might just turn my way. It was an unavoidable risk. I happened to look from my work at the wall in front of me, there to see a second giant shadow outlined beside my own crouching figure. The second shadow held a revolver in his hand. Get back! Get back! I yelled to Rupert, as a guttural voice behind me shouted.
En de hoog! En de hoog!
The jig was up. The Germans knew they were coming. Flashback time. Ooh, flashback. Ja, das ist gut und I agree, ja. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Evil German laughter, yeah. The old double cross. I guess you could say the canteen tunnel was more like the can't-teen tunnel. I know, I'm sorry. But don't worry. That wasn't the end of Colditz Castle, and it certainly wasn't the end of Pat Reid. He just needed a little more time. It's been a year since the canteen tunnel was exposed. There's been more than 100 attempts to escape the castle, and 15 had worked. Exciting for the ones who made it, sure, but for the rest, like Pat and the boys, well, they were stuck with the same soul-crushing Colditz routine. 7 a.m., roll call, then breakfast, shitty European bread with black tea or coffee. 12 till 2, second roll call and lunch, probably some watery soup. In the evening was another roll call and dinner, then just before bed, you would be counted again. Of course, in between all that, you had some downtime, but that's it. Day in, day out. Same roll calls, same slop, same walls. But, at least for some, there was a cure. Goon baiting. Whoopsh. SadCatman's Declassified Colditz Survival Guide. How to goon bait. Goon baiting. The art of baiting the guards/goons into a reaction, thus breaking their morale. Or, to put it in modern terms, shitposting so hard the guards crash out. Sounds stupid, but it was a key part of Colditz psychology. For example, since talking during roll call was forbidden, the French sang a song without moving their lips. The Polish? Well, they just ignored the Germans entirely. But the British, they perfected the goon bait. They'd show up to roll call with dumb hairdos, start knitting, fart loudly, or speak in stupid accents.
There's no cheese and crackers in prison, Gromit.
Eventually, things got even more stupid. They'd stare at a guard's fly until he got self-conscious. They'd play imaginary pool or walk invisible dogs. And at one point, they pushed rocks around the courtyard with their noses just to see if the guards would ban it. They did. Was it petty? Yeah, but it cured the boredom and won up the guards. And for some, that was enough. But for others, it wasn't. And only one thing ever would be. Escape. The game of cat and mouse had evolved, and while the Germans had learned from every escape, so had the prisoners. This time, there would be no tunnels or no guards to bribe. This time, the operation was simple. And you know what that means. Whoopsh. Team up montage. Captain Pat Reid.
Sorry guys, SadCatman really couldn't come up with another pun.
Lieutenant Colonel Ronnie Littledale.
You know, my mother always said it's not the size of your dale, but how you use it.
Lieutenant Commander Billy Stevens.
You can't stop me, because I'm getting out of here. Stevens if it kills me.
And Lieutenant Hank Wardle, Canadian Chad. Yeah, there's 2 dudes in this video named Wardle. What'll you gonna do about it? Eh? October 14th, 1942. As night falls, the boys have snuck their way into the prisoner's kitchen. The operation is already underfoot, and Pat kicks things off by bending one of the bars on the window. Now, they have access to the roof between courtyards. He and Hank are the first to crawl across and get into position. From up here, they've got eyes on the main sentry as he does his laps, back and forth. Their next step? Cross the entire German courtyard to a small pit on the other side without getting spotted. By no means was this an easy task. But don't worry, they had a plan. Notice the music. I didn't just put it there for dramatic effect. For days, the Brits have been holding band practice in the senior officers' barracks. Nothing unusual, except the conductor has a perfect view of the guard. Tonight, whenever the coast is clear, the music stops. Now in the courtyard, Pat and Hank lurk in the shadows, waiting for the signal. Twice he had been just a hair too late. Sure, the guard hadn't noticed him, but something was definitely off. An officer came out and barked some orders. "Oh yeah, bark, bark, bark. Oh yeah, orders, orders, orders." Not long after, the music stops. For real this time. The operation has barely begun and they've already lost their signal. With no other option, Pat makes the call to wait things out.
Perhaps suspicions will die down.
He hoped. In the courtyard, they were sitting ducks, so in order to stay hidden, they took a nearby door. Ah, the perfect place to hide. An empty garbage room. Or should I say, a supposedly empty garbage room. In Pat's own words.
We had been in there for 5 minutes, when suddenly there was a rustling of paper, a crush of falling tins, and a jangling of overturned bottles. A noise fit to waken the dead. A cat leapt from amongst the refuse and tore out of the room as if the devil was after it.
I'm gonna get you.
Oh no, bud. That dang cat's gonna bring the Jerry's right to us. We gotta hide, eh? Ooh. 5 minutes pass. 10 minutes pass. And then? Nothing. No footsteps, no flashlights, no guards. Somehow, despite all the commotion, the coast seemed clear. But just to be safe, they wait an hour before trying their luck again. While the original plan relied on music to signal if it was safe to cross, thanks to the unexpected delay, the castle has gone quiet. So quiet, Pat can hear the footsteps clearly. There's still a chance. First, to the shed. Next, to the pit. Bill and Ronnie were close to follow. With all four in the pit, Phase 1 complete. Now, in comparison, the next phase was meant to be the easy one. Essentially, take a nearby door to the outer terrace and continue on from there. But nothing's ever easy at Colditz. The door wouldn't budge, and right off the bat, Phase 2 was dead in the water. For a moment, the boys considered giving up, but then their minds raced with recollections of the castle, pumpernickel, thin-ass soup, the French. Nah, they all thought in unison.
Lads, we can't give up now. We've made it too far.
He's right, boys. We need an alternative, eh?
How about if we sneak our way through the German HQ and come out the back?
No, it's too risky. It's swarming with guards and it would never work.
I suppose you're right. Well, maybe if we wait long enough, a guard will come by and unlock the door for us.
I don't think they'd do that, Ronnie, but I appreciate your input. Billy, do you have anything?
Well, I think we should head into that dark room back there. It might lead somewhere.
I thought my idea was better, but fine, let's go for it.
They found something. Directly under the German HQ was a cellar, and at the back, what looks like an air shaft.
Quick, give me a boost! Oh my god, boys. She leads right into an outside terrace. And I think a bar is loose too.
Freedom was right there.
Right, lads, I managed to bend one of the bars. It's a tight fit, but I think I just might be able to squeeze through.
But Pat, if it's tight for you, what about Hank?
Yeah, he's over 6 foot. There's no way he'll make it.
He thought for a moment.
Aha! Boys, get naked.
Good lord, man, this is no time to celebrate. We must get out first.
Agreed, but that's not what I meant, Ronnie. Without our clothing, we just might fit. I'll go up first and then pull Hank through. If he can make it, anybody can.
With no other option, it's time to test the theory.
Alright, lads, I'm going for it. Wish me luck.
After a short struggle and a whole lot of squeezing, Pat emerges on the other side. 1 down, 3 to go. Next through the shaft, their clothes, the escape gear, then the big man himself. Pat started pulling as Ronnie and Bill pushed from below. 5 minutes went by, then 10, 15, 20, until finally, bruised and bloodied, Big Hank was birthed by Colditz Castle. Way. Phase 2 complete.
Let's go, boys.
Crossfade. Cafe exterior. Switzerland.
Cheers, boys, to cracking Colditz Castle and freedom at last.
Here, here.
Here, I guess, eh?
Oh, Big Hank, what's the matter, pal?
Oh, well, you know, it does feel great to be oot and all, but...
Hank, it's okay. You can tell us, bud.
Oh, you know, I just worry about the boys back in the castle is all, eh? You know, Rupert, Dick, that other guy. I just hope they're okay, that's all.
Ah, my large Canadian compatriot. Don't worry, I'm sure our letter's made it back to the castle and Rupert will be reading it any minute now.
Oh, you really think so?
Big Hank, we know so.
Oh, you guys are the best, eh?
Rupert, this is to wish you and all of your friends a very happy Christmas. You've no idea how sorry we are that you aren't with us. Give our dear love to your friend Dick. Love, Hank and Pat.
Not sure I'd call it my friend, but I guess if they really want me to. B.R.B. Escape from Colditz Castle, starring Chat History,
Good luck with the project, Catman.
Henry Lewis,
Pat. Me when I see a cat in the wild.
Colevin,
I am also here. Ha ha ha.
and a D.
You know, my mother always said it was the size of your tail. But wait, fuck.
The end.